Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. 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 Yeah, we're engaged. We're engaged again together, you and me, and you and me, me and you. It's true, together, always together, here on Operation Status Quo. How does it go? Let's go with the flow, don't you know? Maybe I should do like the whole show one time where I just sing to everybody. Hello, everyone out there. I think you're such wonderful people, and I care for you so deeply. That's why I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here, baby. I'm here. Should I be? Should I go somewhere else? Would you like me to? Hello and welcome to Operation Status Quo here on a Wednesday. What is today? Wednesday, the 5th of, the 5th of April. Wow. Another month. I can't believe, it's funny because like when March came about, I remember thinking, well, because I'm going to get into everything what I'm going to get into today, but just to say, like, I follow a lot of different things. So, March is supposed to be a real big month of a lot of stuff kind of happening and blah, blah. And, I just, you go through the whole month and you keep hearing all this kind of stuff. And then, like, before you know it, the month's gone and we're into the next month. And that's why I always say we can't lock down on anything of as far as when things happen. Like, again, I was saying that yesterday about attachment. I don't know. Maybe I don't know when I was talking about detaching and don't attach to anything that's going on in the world, because we never know exactly how and when things will shake out. This is just kind of a reflection of what's going on within, our physical world, as I always say. So we have to just deal with it in that capacity. So anyway, how you doing out there today? And I know I don't think what I just said made any sense whatsoever, because I'm trying to retrace it back in my head and I don't even know what's going on. But you know how it is with me. I'm just a man of the people. It's plain and simple. This is no big to-do over here. I'm just a simple guy, a man of the people. I love you out there individually as well as a group, and I come here every day with the thoughts in mind to just send some positive messages to observe the world and discuss what's going on, and give people a place to maybe see things in a different way, or totally reject what I'm saying altogether. Whatever works for you is fine with me. But today's show on Operation Status Quo, and by the way, in case you're new here, Operation Status Quo is the space where we observe the current conditions, we observe the status quo of what's going on in the world, and then we learn how to flow with the quo, because things are going to happen. No matter what, even if the status quo turned into something that everybody was happy with, that would still be a status quo, and you'd have to flow with that, because no matter what, humanity, humans, let's be real, no one's ever going to be happy, right? No matter, you can have everything in the world, you'll still never be happy. That's just the nature of humanity. You're always looking for the next thing. And if you have something that makes you feel good, you're like, okay, well, I have this, but now I need this, and then I need that, and then I need this, and then I need, if you have everything, it doesn't matter. You're still looking for the next thing, because that's just the way humanity is, and that's why we have to learn to detach and not be part of anything. And that's one of the really the focus I wanted to have today, is because sometimes I go down all those roads, like the other episode with the groovy movies, go back down the whole thing about the satanic cabal and the Satan worshipers and drinking blood and kids and all that stuff and whatever. That's a facet. I mean, it's a facet of part of our reality, But again, I think the simplest way for me to put it, so people understand me, in a sense, is that I don't really feel like in this world per se. Like, I'm here, and I engage and I do everything I have to do and I'm involved, but I'm not looking to like get that involved, really dig deep into the dirt of the physical life. I don't want to dig into the dirt of the physical life. I want to reach up into the ethereal areas of like the sky and kind of nothingness, because that's so much, think about how dense and, if you're digging into the earth all the time, your hands are dug underground. You're always trying to, root down and have stability and, be earthly, be in the world, and it just weighs you down. It weighs down your energy, but if you like, we lighten it up and we give it up like this, you know what I'm trying to say? And then boom, you're in a lighter space, a beautiful space. You're feeling good. I'm watching myself here on the video. That's pretty funny. Hey, what can I do, people? You know how it is with me. All right, so today's episode is called Counting Birds. And why counting birds? I was standing outside this morning, as I like to do. I love being here in Florida. The sound of the seagulls every morning, one of my favorite sounds in the world. I just hear, and they're out there every morning, and I see them flying around, and I hear them, and blah, blah, and it's beautiful. And I said, counting birds, that would be a good topic for today, because I realize, I talk about going for my walk, and I go for my walk, and part of the area where I walk, there's a couple like retention ponds or whatever you want to call them, little inlets they've made from the river in the area that's around the houses. So it's really beautiful and serene and all that type of thing. And there's like a ton of birds, and I would go for a walk. And I remember telling somebody one time, I said, I don't know, there's I could think of 10 species of birds that I see just like that, going through the walk. But then when I started thinking about it, I realized it's a lot more than the 10, and after I thought that thought, and I went for a walk the next day, and I actually started looking at all the different birds that I see and counting. And I was really able to get to close to 30 different species of birds just going through this walk, between the blackbirds and the doves or whatever, and the pigeons and the cranes and the herons and the ducks and it's just limitless. The seagulls, it's just so many birds I've never seen before, coming from where I came from, up in the Northeast, so not some of the same, birds live down here. So counting birds, because I just realized, and the point I'm making here is how beautiful, it is to be out and about like that, and to, just engage with nature. I said this before, if I go for a walk, I don't take my phone, I leave it. I don't want anything blasted in my ears. I just want to hear, the sounds of the nature. I want to observe. Know what else I see all the time too is really cool? I see these peacocks, like these big, these things are huge, and they're they're running around together, and like a whole flock of them, some people put outside they got the bird feeders and all, and there's this one house that has that, and these peacocks are there every morning, and it's wow, it's just, just like when you think if I was home, in the Philadelphia area, you got to go to the zoo to see a peacock, but here the peacocks just running around my neighborhood. Where the hell's my damn applause? Thank you. I was on the wrong screen there. All right. Hey-o. So what I want to say here today is, because of how we talk about all the crazy stuff that goes on in the world, what are you doing to ground yourself every day? What do you do? And I'm not saying you have to do anything. This is like an option. You know what I'm saying? If you're living each day, you're a little bit stressed, or you're worried about all the stuff that's going on in the world and all that type of thing. What do you do each day to take yourself out of the matrix, and just kind of ground yourself with nature to, kind of just let the mind go and just, kind of bring yourself back to your true essence, essentially. So, that's kind of like the focus of what today is. And, I got here's little birds and nature. Listen to this here. There we go. And let's just be here together. Just like when I go for my walk. Just birds and nature and beautiful. And what are you doing today to bring some of this peace and harmony, into your life? And one of the things I'll mention too is, I watch a lot of material, and this is why I say it's not all about conspiracies and such. I watch, obviously the stuff as far as the quote unquote truth community goes. I pay attention. I pay attention to mainstream news too, to see how it compares to, what we're being told on the other side. And that brings me to another point. I'll go back to that in a second. I also watch, astrology. I'm really into the movement of the planets and such, and the energies that they represent, and what it means when certain conjunctions and whatnot are taking place. And I also I've been watching, with everything with the banks, and I've been watching a lot of economic talk, which is stuff it's like paint dry, right? So I would never even be into that. But the point I'm making is, when I watch everything, all the different pieces, whether it's the truth community, whether it's mainstream media, astrology and finance, and all the different kind of facets, you realize that it's all saying the same thing. I mean, different parts of it in different ways. Like, the economy people aren't necessarily going to come out and say, we're ruled by a satanic cabal or something like that. They're going to talk about our main system. But the information I find, it does correlate with things that how the astrology talks about what planets are doing. And the last time something, whatever with Pluto, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like enjoy listening to it. But, the last time some of these things happened were, or like the 1700s when the United States started, like the 1500s, the different times, like when different humanitarian freedom type endeavors were being undertaken, was the same type of planetary alignment. So I find it interesting of what we're going through now as a society, and how it relates back to previous times when the planets lined up in these ways and similar things happened. And even with the banking stuff, they talk about some of the things are similar as far as 2008. Of course things are different too, but that's why I say we can't get attached and we don't get worried. To me, it's all pieces of information that are helping you put a whole puzzle together so that you don't have to live in fear, so that you can mitigate circumstances and be aware of, okay, we are in a world that is energy. It's not as concrete and solid as we think it is. And it's not just, I'm here in this body and I'm at the mercy of whatever happens. It's like, you are an integral, part, of the whole flow. So, the more information and different perspectives you see it from, then you realize like how all the components fit together. It's why, like, when I was talking the other day with the movies and I mentioned about, how people get agitated when you start going too heavy on the, the heavy stuff, talking about companies like Walmart trafficking humans and stuff like, people don't want to hear that kind of stuff because it just shakes their whole, world, so I get it, but it doesn't, and again, it doesn't have to be that heavy. And even though I believe there's a definite truth in a lot of that information, at the same time, I'm not getting attached to it and being like, whoa, we got to stop the Satan worshipers. I mean, yeah, we got to stop the Satan worshipers. But I mean, like, it's not about like we got to stop them. It's just about changing your vibration and living in a different frequency. Then if you resonate at a different frequency, that whatever energy it is that creates and causes that is not going to be able to thrive in your life, and the more people that begin to resonate and at a higher frequency and vibration, then the less of that type of stuff would be in our world. I mean, it's really simple. There's good and evil in all of us. Think about yourself and your everyday. I mean, I'm sure you've done things in your life that you're not proud of. We all have, and sometimes you think you were spiteful. I mean, I know back in the day, I definitely could think of, times I was spiteful if somebody did something to me and, I want to get them back or, say something about them and I don't even go down that path, like anymore. I had a situation happen to me like a year ago, where I was working with someone and, we were, thought we were friends. And then, it just kind of didn't work out that way. And, I would say that, that person went behind my back and did me a little dirty. But I never made a big deal out of it because I really don't give a crap, and back, I understand why you'd want to, right? If somebody does something wrong and you feel like, you feel like you want to prove yourself or you want to be vindicated, justified, whatever, but, when that happened, I never really don't forget it because it stood out really strong. I realized what was going on. I was like, wow. It's like, wow, so like, I'm just not going to put myself in that energy. Like, if I do a tit for tat, I'm dealing with a person that's already acting in this way. So if I try to do something back or say something back, that person's not going to go, oh, I understand. I apologize. Right. I mean, they're going to want to fight back and be angry and take it another step further. So that's exactly what I'm trying to say is, you have to resonate and be the energy you want to be. What you put out is what'll come back to you in the world. And it doesn't even mean that somebody's good or bad. Even this individual that I dealt with a year ago that this happened, like, I'm not even saying good person, bad person. It doesn't even matter. It's just like that's just the vibration, and these are the actions, the energies, the things that are going to happen if you're entwined in that level, right? So if you take yourself out of that level and you be over at this level, I'm not saying you have to be better. I never want to make it like a better or worse, because we're all in this together and everybody's at different spaces of learning, and it's just the way it shakes out. And anything that happens in your life is, to me, ultimately a lesson for improvement and opportunity to be better, to grow. So, and I look at what happened to me last year with that situation that I'm speaking of, and, it wasn't like horribly traumatic, but it was, it was enough to agitate me, and I look back on it and say, but how much what that taught me. And I was really, even to this day, I think, wow, it was really a time where, I didn't react. I was not reactive at all. I didn't do anything to try to be reactive. I just totally just shut it off and let it go. And so I'm just not going to resonate with that and move forward. And I see how much I've grown and what's come into my life, since then. Not to say like, oh, I deserve something good. I just mean like I've had no problems, and, life put me in situations where I need to be now, and I see like how it all plays out. Like if that didn't happen the way that happened, like I wouldn't be where I am now, and like I'm happy in the space that I am now, and I'm thankful because I just see how much and that's all these situations. Everything happens in your life. I mean, that's how you have to look at it. Everything's happening to kind of guide you in that way, instead of like worry. Don't be in worry. Don't be mad. Don't feel shame, guilt. I mean, we're all have embarrassing times and everything, right? It's easy for somebody to, show a video of something you did, or, whatever, something on the internet. You know how it goes, or just they know you. They try to talk about you with mutual friends, or I don't know, whatever the case may be, that somebody tries to belittle you, or, if somebody's taking the time and energy, to try to put you down or make you feel badly about yourself, it's already, I mean, it's like a red flag. You don't need any other information. Like if you see that's what's going on, you just know that, okay, I mean, I don't need to resonate with that. I'm moving off in this direction, and, and do things, I'm going to rise in a better way. So that's what we're talking about here today on Operation Status Quo. It's just what are you doing in your life, to ground yourself, to be at peace in your heart, to remove yourself from the confines of the matrix, even if it's only for, 20 minutes a day. Maybe you only have 5, maybe you have a busy life. I get it. Maybe you only have 5 minutes a day to sit and meditate or something, but, can you find that time to maybe sit outside with the shoes off and your feet in the grass, or just stand outside in the sunshine for 5-10 minutes and just be with your breath. Simple things. Just listen to the sound of the birds and all, like I'm talking about. I'm big on the birds down here because it's just amazing. There's just so much life down here. I feel like I'm in a jungle. It's like being in a jungle living down in Florida. So, and basically the point I was making is like, the world is changing. The old paradigm of how we lived over these last couple centuries or whatever, and is on its way out. New things are happening, so don't be left behind. Is what I'm saying. You don't have to like curl up in a ball and hope to God that Crazy Eddie's is coming back and you'll get a good sale at the store. Remember Crazy Eddie? Crazy Eddie, he's insane. Where's Crazy Eddie? Crazy Eddie. These prices are insane. Remember Crazy Eddie? Crazy Eddie. Talk about commercialism and all that stuff. It's so funny. Okay, so just to go back quickly to what we'll wrap it up for today. Watching, I was talking about how I watch all the different. I was talking about how I watch a lot of different aspects of information, right? I don't know. My brain, it goes so fast. I wish I can just sit here and just, some people, they when they're on, like, they're just, hello. I want to thank you for being with me here today. This beautiful moment, this beautiful space where we can just energetically be as one, breath by breath, moment by moment, the only moment, this very moment. But unfortunately, I can't do that because I got too much crap going on inside my head, and my brain's going 100 miles an hour, and there's nothing I can do about it. No, please, I can't have it. I can't have it. There's just too much going on inside my head to just be calm for a minute. I want to be calm. Dear Lord, help me be calm. I'm trying. All right. But the other way is nice too. If I just sit here with just sit here with my eyes closed and just let the words come from my soul to your soul, the oneness we share. I mean, that's really what I'm trying to do. But unfortunately, I got like ADD mixed with HD, DD, I don't know what HP, QD, FD. I got them all. I got all the Ds. I got the A's, the D's, the Z's. I got everything. So let me finish this point quickly, because this is talk about perception, right? Perception, and it's just so interesting. So of course yesterday, everything came out, with Trump being arraigned and indicted and all that, whatever. So I was watching back and forth purposely. I wanted to watch Fox, talking about it, and I wanted to watch CNN talking about it, because I know they're on opposite sides. So, of course, Fox is on, and they're just going on and on about how it's not even a real case, and and how it was all that way, like it's a disgrace to the country, and this and to that, and to this and to that. And on the other side, CNN, they a little bit kind of said, it took them a lot. It was hard for them to say. I could tell, that it's not really a case or whatever. I'm not a lawyer, so whatever. But what they were saying, but the way they came across is it's so like matter of fact, this guy is so evil and bad. They can't even, they're like foaming at the mouth, it's like, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Like they wouldn't come on and say, listen, no matter what, just say you don't like Trump, whatever. Right. And the point of the matter is, the way they're going after him and the way they're using the legal system, this is what makes it so amazing to me, is that the point is, the portion of our society or the mindset that just hates this one person so much that they just don't care by any means, like bury him and disgrace him type thing. Like they don't even think about how the actions and the precedents being set by what's going on could affect them, people they love and know in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like our system, it is what it is. Like this is United States, innocent until proven guilty. We have a constitution. I mean, they talk about it. The law is set up in such a way that generally, they'd rather see 10 people go free that should have went to jail instead of accidentally putting one innocent person in jail. But listen, we know this no matter what, that it's our legal system is just another way of control. No matter, look at O.J. Simpson, for God's sake, right? I mean, come on. And that guy got away with it. You don't really get away with it because you did it and it's on your soul, and people know. But he had a good lawyer, and they're able to manipulate laws and rules and this and that and evidence, and and all of a sudden he's able to just not, I don't know, it seems like it could be happen to cut off these people's heads basically. Might have been a little agitated because his wife was sleeping with somebody, but we can't really, he's driving the Bronco all whacked out. I'm just gonna go with Nicole wherever the guy's gotta go be with Nicole. Just crazy shit. So the legal system is manipulated, obviously. So that's what I'm trying to say. And it was such an interesting perspective to watch. Fox never went into anything about, they were talking about more it being an insult to the office of the presidency, and he shouldn't be attacked, and he didn't do anything. And listen, I'm all about it. Somebody first of all, let's even take a step back, 2 steps back. All right, 3, 4, 5, 7. They're all criminals. They've all been criminals for years. Forget about Trump. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just so mad and always focused on Trump. You don't think Bill Clinton should be in jail? I mean, are you really seriously, anybody out there? You don't think Obama, the things he's done? I mean, it's out of control. I mean, the Bush family, it's literally out of control. You really want to go down those roads. I mean, I was thinking about doing another show about all this type of stuff, but just to mention quickly, since I'm on this tangent, the Bush family, I know how this stuff sounds, and again, people think you're crazy and out of touch, but the Bush family's been involved with a lot of shit since before World War II, and from information I've seen and studied or researched, whatever you want to say, and it makes sense. The Bush family were the ones that were running the concentration camps during World War II. It wasn't even Hitler. So I know that's a big pill for people to swallow. But if you start looking into it, you'll see the other things. And I don't even, I think it was Bayer. Pfizer, the aspirin company Bayer, they were the ones that were manufacturing the gas that they were using in the concentration camps to kill the Jews. Okay, so and that company, whatever. I mean, it's such a. I had to get. I don't have facts. Like listed in front of me the dates and the names and what company transferred and whose name and what they did. But I'm saying this is stuff that's going on. You can research it. You go just start looking it up. Look into it yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. But this is what I'm trying to say is like the whole system is a sham to begin with. Now everybody gets crazy because of Trump, and I understand everybody gets crazy, but, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for him and the things he says and the way he's acted, blah, 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 and why are all these people hate him so much? It's all been a big community all these years, all the media, all the politicians, all the businesses, it's all been a big, big camaraderie, all love each other thing. Now, all of a sudden, he's the biggest jerk in the world because he's saying things and calling them out on things. I know people don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to hear it, and I'm not trying to say he's right. I don't want to go down that way about like it all being pro-Trump. I want the messages to be heard. I want people to, open their mind to think in different ways and to realize like, just look at it. Why is this happening? Why is this person being attacked this way? If he's buddies with these people all the time, all these years and everything else. So I don't know. I don't have the answers to everything. I'm just trying to say it's obvious that something big is happening in our world, and it has to play out on all kinds of levels. I mean, it really comes down to everything's energetic and human consciousness is rising. So with that happening within those parameters, our physical world has to change too. So, and it has to go through all the levels. It has to go through the economy level. It has to go through the politics level. It has to go through, even like our work life level, our social life level. I mean, everything has to, manufacturing, everything has to, upgrade and change. So, I mean, that's basically where we are. And that's why I say, let me go back over here before excuse me. Oh my gosh. If I did a little belch there. Let's go back to my little birds here real quick and remember this peaceful moment. That's what we're here, counting birds today and just remembering to be in peace and love and harmony. Because that's what the world is. That's what we are. I mean, that's really what it is. And you can choose it. You choose peace. You choose love. You choose to up your vibration, and you'll have a beautiful life. And, again, it's not about like rolling over and taking shit from people either. I mean, stand up, be strong, speak your mind, be yourself. Don't be afraid of the world. I mean, that's basically the meat of it all, Don't eat meat. If you don't like meat, you don't have to eat meat. It could be the grass of it all. Don't smoke grass. If grass makes you feel funny, don't smoke it. Anyway, hey, listen, that's the message today. Counting birds. What are you doing for yourself to ground in with nature, to take time to separate from the matrix, to remind yourself not to attach to this cumbersome physical existence that tries to, beat us into the ground? I mean, eventually when we end up in the ground, unless you get cremated, then I guess you kind of end up in a jar or, they spread your ashes somewhere. But either way, you know what I'm talking about, right? All right. So this is Operation Status Quo, where we observe the status quo and we learn to flow with the quo right here on Operation Status Quo. I am your eager and happy host, Pete Palma. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Send this out to all your family, your friends, those you love, those you despise as well. Let's build this community. Let's build this channel. Don't feel shy in any regard whatsoever to reach out to me. Let me know what's on your mind. Drop some comments, all that kind of crap. And seriously, I love you individually as well as a group. It's one beautiful world, ladies and gentlemen. Go out there and count the birds. Enjoy your day. Until next time, I'm Pete Palma. This is Operation Status Quo. God bless you. Operation Status Quo disengaged.